The first one, the one that just kind of pops in my head is feeding and using negativity as a positive reinforcement for himself. There's even a commercial. I think if you go out see, there's a commercial out there. I think I don't know if a Nike did it or it was an Adidas commercial. If you look it up, where he's on the court and you see everybody like smack talking to him, Kobe this, Kobe that, Kobe this, right? And all of a sudden, he starts taking that negativity, all this, negativity from these fans, and turns it into a motivation. And the metaphor is that all of a sudden this becomes music to his ears. That you see Kobe's like, yeah, come on, now you bring up your stuff. So now you see him like as a conductor, right? He's like the commercial switches where he's on the court, he's a conductor, and you see all these like fans yelling at him negativity. He's like, okay, you louder, now you come on in, now you zoom in. So he has all this negativity, and he's turning it into a positive for himself. And he was very good at that, at taking that. Now I know not all athletes are able to do that because every athlete's different. Some athletes thrive more on positivity. Some can do that type of thing. So I guess he was able to find out what motivated him and channel it in a positive way to make him who he is.
Okay. Cool.
Again,
Cool.
goes back to the fact that he believed in himself. No matter how much negativity he got out there, he believed in himself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can tell he's a very confident guy. Can't break his
Uh-huh.
confidence. And then Kobe, fast forward, Kobe hurt his Achilles.
Yep.
Um, what treatments did you give him to recover to get him to 100%?
So that's the thing with him, and the interesting part about him and his Achilles. So when he ruptured his Achilles, you know, most athletes will kind of go through a stage of either denial or a little bit of depression, which is normal. It's expected. You go kind of through the 5 stages of grief, as they call them, right? Um, and when he ruptured his Achilles, we took him back to the locker room. He already knew what was going on in the part. And the doctors examined him in the training room. We all examined him, and it's like, hey, you ruptured Achilles. It's going to take this. And everybody was kind of like more like trying to kind of either soothe them, be sympathetic, and kind of like, the atmosphere in the training room was a little bit a sad, kind of like, somber type of things, like kind of a little bit depressed. It's almost like they say, they take the air out of the balloon, so to speak. But Kobe, on the other hand, it's almost like he went through these 5 stages like within 5-10 minutes, and then it's like, all right, we need to do the surgery tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. We'll see you guys there. I need to start on the road to recovery. Now, keep in mind, this is like 10 p.m. To do a surgery, you got to get the doctors, you got to get the operational room, you got to coordinate the nurses, you got to get the anesthesiologist, you got to get all these people set up. And all of a sudden, he gets up and walks out of the room. It's like, see you guys tomorrow, 7 a.m. And we all look at each other like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like who's gonna tell him no, we can't, no, like we're looking just like, who's gonna tell him like, no, we cannot do the surgery tomorrow morning? I mean, it's impossible. We gotta call everybody. But nobody did. But that was kind of like the expectation, again, the elevation, right? And we're like, all right, everybody on the phones. I'm calling somebody. Gary's calling somebody. Everybody's calling somebody. We're calling nurses. We're calling anesthesiologists. We're calling operation rooms. We're calling like everybody and everything. And we were able to get it done next morning. Boom, he's in the surgery room and got this rehab. He was very dedicated at his rehab. Obviously, one of the difficult part is that he also tends to travel a lot with Nike. So we had some of us had to travel with him and continue his rehab. But I mean, his dedication to come back and even be a better. This is the interesting part. He didn't want to come back and be the same athlete that he was before. He wanted to come back and be a better athlete than he was with an injury. Most athletes like, hey, I just want to be back who I used to be, right? That's usually the norm. No, his mentality is like, no, I want to prove to everybody that I can be better. I can overcome this injury. Not only am I going to be the same Kobe, I'm going to be a better Kobe than even before. That was his kind of approach. Again, that was his kind of mentality, that he believed in himself, and he knew not only was he going to come back the same Kobe, but he's going to come back as a better Kobe than even before. And that was his goal. And he expected us to help him become that better Kobe than before.